So part 2 of the story starts with these group of friends, Dorothy and the others, getting to where they need to be. It says, at Emerald City, they meet the wizard.
他们真的在翡翠城见到了奥兹国巫师。Does the wizard help them?
We see that. I'll help you if you kill the wicked witch of the West, he tells them. So this is the other bad witch in Oz. We had the East one, she got squashed,
Yeah.
but there's still the West one who I think is the worst of all, and the wizard wants to get rid of her.
所以这边还有一个角色是西方坏女巫，那她是奥兹国里面的另外一位女巫，而且奥兹国的巫师想要杀掉她。奥兹国巫师跟陶乐斯一行人说啊，如果你们可以帮我杀掉西方坏女巫，我就会帮你们。That seems like it will be hard.
Yep, but it is the only way to get home. So, Dorothy and her friends go off to try to do this. The story carries on and says, however, the witch knows they're coming and sends things to kill them. In the story, there are things like giant ants and other animals.
Wolves.
Yeah, wolves, all sorts of things.
西方坏女巫呢，也不是省油的灯，她用她的魔力派出一些奇怪的东西、生物，要杀死他们。What can they do about that?
Well, the article says, during these difficulties, Scarecrow is smart, Tin Man is kind, and Lion is brave. So, okay, before we sort of talk about that more, let's describe, we describe the things that Dorothy and her friends, they have to go through these difficulties, okay? This is spelled D-I-F-F-I-C-U-L-T-I-E-S, difficulties, often used as a plural because there's for more than one. The singular is difficulty. D-I-F-F-I-C-U-L-T-Y, difficulty. And this is our first word power word for today, so let's check it out. So when we talk about a difficulty, or more often difficulties, it's more common to use the plural. These are problems or some things that cause trouble. They're things that you kind of need to work hard to maybe solve a problem, get round something. It's always difficult, which is of course the adjective, to get through difficulties. Here's an example sentence. The teacher is trying to help the children with learning difficulties. The teacher is trying to help the children with learning difficulties. If you've got a learning difficulty, your brain doesn't quite work in the same way as other people's, and you have trouble maybe reading or concentrating. And the teachers, of course, will help you.
Difficulty 是一个名词，代表困境、难题。那复数形呢，就在字尾的 y 把它去掉之后加 ies 就可以了，变成 difficulties。那例句说啊，那位老师正试图帮助有学习困难的孩童。那另外形容词呢，我们会用 difficult， 也就是把名词字尾的 y 拿掉就行了。那 difficult 是困难的，还有另外一个字也是困难的，那个字就是 hard。那文章告诉我们呢，这行人遇到了一些困难 and they solve the problems they have.
Yeah, and during that we saw that Scarecrow was smart. S-M-A-R-T, smart. Let's check out what the adjective smart means in our next word power word section. So, smart means intelligent, clever. Your brain is pretty good, it works well, maybe you can remember a lot of things, or you're good at solving problems, you're usually pretty good in school and that kind of thing. Here's an example for that. Jimmy is very smart and gets good grades in school. Jimmy is very smart and gets good grades in school.
Smart 这个形容词就是聪明的。那例句说啊 ，Jimmy 很聪明，在学校都得到好成绩。Being smart takes brains, right?
Right. So maybe Scarecrow is smarter than he thought. Tin Man is also kind, so that shows maybe he already has a good heart. And the lion was brave, so maybe he's braver than he thought.
That's right， 在这些的困难当中呢，稻草人变聪明了，席樵夫变善良了，狮子也变勇敢了。
Yeah, this is something we will come back to in day 3 and talk about a bit more. It's part of one of the overall messages of this story. But right now, all is well for Dorothy. They're friends, they got through these difficulties, but it doesn't last for long. We see that. In the end, though, the witch's flying monkeys capture Dorothy. So these are monkeys with wings, and they capture Dorothy. To capture someone means to take them prisoner and hold them somewhere so they can't escape.
Capture 这个动词呢，就是抓捕。最后呢，西方坏女巫派出会飞的猴子来抓桃乐丝。接着呢，文章说 Dorothy must work in the witch's castle。桃乐丝啊，被迫在西方女巫的城堡里面工作。What happens next?
Well, next we see in the article that the witch, so this is the Wicked Witch of the West, tricks her and steals her shoes. Remember those special silver shoes?
So the shoes are important.
Yeah, well, before we get to that, let's explain what the witch did here. She tricked Dorothy. Trick is a verb, T-R-I-C-K, trick, and it's our next word power word. To trick someone means to kind of use your brain and use your words to, we could say, deceive somebody and kind of get them or make them do something that you want or give you something that you want to have. Maybe they don't really understand how it happened. Maybe you use a bad way to get their money or something like that, or kind of a bad way to make them do what you want because at the start they didn't want to do it. Here's an example, and this is a pretty nasty one. The man tricked his mother out of several $1 million. What a bad guy! The man tricked his mother out of several $1 million. You're bad, guy.
Trick 这个动词就是欺骗、拐骗。那例句说呢，那个男子从他妈妈手中骗走了数百万元。He is really bad.
Ooh, if I find you, sunshine.
回到文章，西方坏女巫呢欺骗了桃乐丝，偷走了那双银色的鞋子。It seems that those silver shoes from the other bad witch are important, like I said before.
Exactly. Don't forget about that. It does become important later. Anyway, back to the story right now. The witch has tricked Dorothy. She's stolen her shoes. Dorothy's having to work in the witch's castle. It's all very terrible. But then we see that Dorothy gets angry and throws a bucket of water at the witch. Now the phrase to get angry just means to start becoming angry.
Get 在这边呢，可以等于 become 这个字，当做变的。那它是个连缀动词哦，后方可以直接加上形容词来使用。Dorothy gets angry 代表的是桃乐丝变得生气，朝女巫丢一桶水过去。And now the witch is all wet.
Well, it's not just that.
What?
We see that I'm melting! Screams the witch. Now, this verb melt can have two meanings. It can mean when something cold gets hot and turns into something like water, like ice or an ice cream when you take it out of the fridge. It can also mean when something that's solid melts into liquid, like if you heat up like gold, it will turn into like a liquid. So kind of what's happening here is like the witch is made of ice and the water is hot enough to make her melt.
Melt 这个动词呢是融化，可能是冰融化成水，或者是固体，像是金融化成液体的样子。那这边呢，这个女巫在融化了 ，she's melting. No wonder she screams.
Yes, to scream means to give a long, loud cry because of pain, anger, or some other kind of big emotion. Ah, kind of thing.
That's screaming. 所以 scream 呢就是尖叫的意思啦。女巫尖叫着说啊，天哪，我在融化 ！Is she going to die?
Well, the article says soon she's dead because water kills witches. That's something very useful to know in the land of Oz. Now, to explain that just a bit more, we are going to check out the adjective dead, D-E-A-D, dead, which is our next word power word. Okay, so the word dead, as you can probably guess from the article, means no longer alive. You're alive, and then when you get very old or sick or something bad happens, you will be dead. It's related to the verb die. If you die, you are dead. Here's an example sentence. The king is dead, so his son will be the new king. The king is dead, so his son will be the new king.
Dead 是个形容词，代表死亡的。那例句说呢，国王驾崩了，所以他的儿子将要成为新的国王。这边要注意哦 ，the king is dead。我们要用到的是现在式的 be 动词哦，代表国王现在是死亡的状态。那另外呢 ，die 这个字 D-I-E 是动词死亡，那另外名词是 death。D-E-A-T-H。那文章说到呢，很快的女巫就死了，因为水可以杀死女巫。And what happens after that?
Well, for one thing, the bad witch's flying monkeys are free now. The article says that Dorothy gets the flying monkeys to take everyone back to Emerald City. So if you get someone to do something, you might make them, you might just ask them, you might have to persuade them, but to do something that helps you out. There are different ways you can get someone to do something, but the main idea is that you find a way to get a person to do something that you want them to do.
所以 get 在这边当做的是使役动词来使用哦。To get somebody to do something 代表的是命令某人做某事。在这一课里面呢，我们学到了 get 当连缀动词和使役动词的用法。我们先进 Magic Box 听讲师讲解喽。